Welcome to all of you. In the last video lecture, we discussed the finding execution time and number of clock cycles in the instruction pipeline. This concept is completed along with previous gate problems. So today let us discuss these two topics in the instruction pipelining: speed up and throughput. This is instruction pipelining part 2, speed up and throughput. Both concept and previous gate problems let us solve. Now, as the first topic, speed up. Okay. Now, what is actually speed up? Okay. Speed up equal to time in non-pipeline architecture divided by time in pipeline architecture. That means if you take one instruction, right, to execute that instruction, how much time it will take in non-pipeline architecture divided by the time takes to execute one instruction in pipeline architecture. This is the only formula for speed up. That means first we need to calculate the time in non-pipeline architecture, how much time it is taking to execute one instruction. That is divided by and the time in pipeline architecture. That gives you speed up. Or sometimes the speed up equal to execution time old divided by execution time new, because in the same pipeline architecture only sometimes 4-stage pipeline is there, that will be extended to 6 stages. Then how much speed up? In that cases we can use this formula: execution time old in the previous pipeline divided by execution time in the new pipeline architecture. Okay, let us do some problems on this. So this is the only concept for this. Let us go to the previous gate problems and practice. Yeah, all of you observe. Consider an instruction pipeline with 4 stages. He has given 4 stages: S1, S2, S3 and S4, each with a combinational circuit only. Okay, the pipeline registers are required between each stage, okay, and at the end of the last stage. That means see here, this is S1, S2, S3 and S4. In between each stage there is a pipeline register. Okay. At the end also there is a pipeline register. Okay, this information he has given. Delays for the stages and for the pipeline registers are as given in the figure. See here, S1 stage will take 5 nanoseconds, and stage S2 will take 6 nanoseconds, stage S3 will take 11 nanoseconds, stage S4 will take 8 nanoseconds, and each pipeline register will take 1 nanosecond each. This is 1 nanosecond, 1 nanosecond, 1 nanosecond and 1 nanosecond. This is the pipeline register in between stages. Now the question is, what is the approximate speed up of the pipeline in steady state under ideal conditions when compared to the corresponding non-pipeline implementation? Okay. Now what is the formula for a speed up? The time takes to execute one instruction in non-pipeline divided by the time taken to execute one instruction in pipeline architecture. That's all. For example, non-pipeline, if you take, okay, non-pipeline, okay, to execute one instruction, how much time it will take? Suppose these stages are not there. Okay, if the stages are not there, these pipeline registers are not there. Okay, to execute one instruction, it has to go through only one unit. It has to execute all the stages. So to execute one instruction, it takes time, that is S1 5 nanoseconds plus S2 6 nanoseconds plus S3, okay, 11 nanoseconds plus S4, that is 8 nanoseconds. This equal to 6 plus 5, it's 11, 11 plus 11, 22, 22 plus 8, 30 nanosecond it will take to execute one instruction, because there are no pipeline registers and only one unit, because there is no pipelining, right? Stages are not there in the non-pipeline. That's why only one unit it has to execute all the stages, right? So because only one unit is there, all the 4 operation this unit has to do, it takes 30 nanoseconds. But if you see the pipeline architecture, okay, to execute one instruction, okay, how much time it will take? If you consider all this, okay, 4 stages are there, what is the maximum value among this is 5, this is 6, and this is 11 and 8 nanoseconds. Okay, to execute one instruction, the max of this 5 comma 6 comma 11 comma 8 nanoseconds plus this is a register delay. That equal. What is the meaning of this? Okay, the pipeline, because of 4 stages are there, it will execute every instruction will come within 1 clock cycle. Here 1 clock cycle is nothing but the maximum of this. So this is, it will take 11 clock cycle. 11 plus the register pipeline is 1, that is 12 nanoseconds. Now the speed up equal to, okay, the non-pipeline, that is 30 divided by pipeline, the time takes to execute one instruction, that is 12, okay, it is 2.5. This is the speed up. The conclusion here is, to execute one instruction in non-pipeline, it is 30 nanoseconds. To execute one instruction, it takes 12 nanoseconds here, pipeline. So 30 by 12, that is non-pipeline by pipeline, that is 2.5 is the speed up, that is B answer is correct. The time taken to execute one instruction 30 nanoseconds, and the time taken to execute one instruction, that equal maximum delay in the stages plus register delay, that is 11 plus 1, 12 nanoseconds. Now speed up formula we know, non-pipeline divided by pipeline, that is 30 nanosecond divided by 12 nanosecond, that is speed up equal to 2.5. Consider a non-pipeline processor with a clock rate of 2.5 gigahertz, non-pipeline clock frequency, okay, and average cycles per instruction of 4. The same processor is upgraded to a pipeline processor with 5 stages, but due to the internal pipeline delay, the clock speed is reduced to 2 gigahertz. Previously it is 2.5 gigahertz, now it is, in the pipeline processor, it is 2 gigahertz. Assume that there are no stalls in the pipeline, okay, the speed up achieved in this pipeline processor is, okay. Now the time taken to execute one instruction in non-pipeline processor, that equal to, okay, he has given that it is 4, right, 4 clock cycles it will take to execute one instruction, okay. So 4 into, right, per each clock cycle how much, this is 1 by frequency is given. Now clock frequency, if you do 1 by 2.5 gigahertz, 1 by 2.5 gigahertz, 10 power 9. This is non-pipeline time taken to execute one instruction, okay. This is how much, 1.6 nanoseconds, 1.6 nanoseconds, right. Now what is the time to execute one instruction in pipeline, that equal to, okay, there are 5 stages are there, okay. Anyway, we need to assume that each instruction will take 1 clock cycle, because whether it is 5 stages or 6 stages, okay, so each instruction will execute in 1 clock cycle, 1 into, right, what is the frequency here, 2 gigahertz. Now 2 gigahertz, that is 1 by this 2 into 10 power 9 equal to 0.5 nanoseconds. Now what is the speed up? Speed up equal to the non-pipeline, the time taken to execute one instruction in non-pipeline, that is 1.6 nanoseconds, divided by the time taken to execute one instruction in pipeline, that is 0.5 nanoseconds. 3.2. Speed up equal to 3.2. Yeah, this is time taken to execute one instruction, 4 into this clock frequency 1 by, if you do, then 1.6 nanoseconds. Pipeline architecture, that is one clock cycle it will take generally in the pipeline. So into 1 by the clock frequency, that is 0.5 nanoseconds, and speed up equal to non-pipeline time divided by pipeline time, that is 1.6 nanoseconds by 0.5 nanoseconds, that is 3.2. Now let us see the third question. This question asked in GATE 2014 for 2 marks. Okay, there are 6 stage instruction pipeline is given where all stages are perfectly balanced. Assume that there is no cycle time overhead of pipelining. When an application is executing on this 6 stage pipeline, the speed up achieved with respect to non-pipeline execution if 25% of the instructions incur 2 pipeline stall cycles is. Okay. Now, in non-pipeline, okay, one instruction, the time taken to execute one instruction equal to, right? How many clock cycles it will take? Because generally it is 6 stage pipeline. Okay, you assume each stage will take 1 clock cycle. Now it is 6 clock cycles, 6 clocks, right? Now in pipeline, to execute one instruction, how much time it will take? Because 6 stage pipeline is there, so each instruction 1 clock only. Okay, plus some extra time it will take. Extra time is due to this 25% of the instructions incur 2 pipeline stall cycles. That means 1 plus, what is the extra time? 25% of the instructions, that means 0.25 into each instruction of this 25% will take 2 pipeline stalls, 2 cycles it will be wasted. So this is the extra time due to this pipeline stall cycles. Now this is the time in the pipeline. So 1 plus 0.5, that equal 1.5 clocks. Okay. Speed up equal to 6 by 1.5, that means 4 times, right? In the non-pipeline, take 6 clocks. In the pipeline architecture, the time taken to execute one instruction, 1 plus extra time, clocks. Okay, extra time is nothing but 25%, 0.25 into each one 2 clocks. Pipeline stall cycles will be wasted. So this will be extra time. Speed up equal to non-pipeline time divided by pipeline time, that is equal to 6 by 1.5, that equal to 4. Only one formula, this formula we need to remember, that's all. 2 marks you will get very easily. Let us practice the last problem in this speed up concept. This question asked in GATE 2020 for 2 marks. Okay. Consider a non-pipeline processor operating at 2.5 gigahertz. Okay. It takes 5 clock cycles to complete each instruction. You are going to make a 5-stage pipeline out of this processor. Overheads associated with pipelining force you to operate the pipeline processor at 2 gigahertz. Okay. In a given program, assume that 30% are memory instructions, 60% are ALU instructions, and the rest are branch instructions. 5% of the memory instructions cause stalls of 50 clock cycles, each due to cache misses, and 50% of the branch instructions cause stalls of 2 cycles each. This data is given. Assume that there are no stalls associated with the execution of ALU instruction. Whatever the 60%, there are no stalls. For this program, the speed up achieved by the pipeline processor over the non-pipeline processor round off to 2 decimal places is. Okay, let us consider first a non-pipeline. Non-pipeline processor. To execute one instruction, the time takes equal to, okay, so see here 5 clock cycles to complete an instruction. That's why 5 into clock frequency is 2.5 gigahertz. So for each clock it will take 1 by 2.5 giga it will take. So this equal to 2 nanoseconds. So to execute one instruction in non-pipeline, it will take 2 nanoseconds, right? This part is over. Now coming to pipeline processor, okay, the time takes to execute one instruction equal to, generally it will take 1, because 5 stages are there, it will take only 1 clock cycle because of the pipelining, okay, 1 clock cycle plus some information is given, some extra time it will take, plus some extra time into 1 by, what is the clock frequency? 1 by 2 gigahertz. Because of some overhead, it has to need to reduce the 2 gigahertz, that is 2 giga. If you calculate this time, then what is the speed up? The time taken to execute one instruction in non-pipeline divided by time taken to execute one instruction in pipeline. So now we need to calculate this time. So 1 plus, see here the total instruction 30% will take some extra time. See here 30% are memory instructions are there, okay. In that 5% of memory instruction cause stalls of 50 clock cycles, okay. Total 30% total 30% of memory instructions will take, okay, in this 5%, only 5% will take 50 clock cycles extra. So 0.05 into 50. What is the meaning of this? 30% of the memory instructions, out of which 5% will take 50 clock cycles extra. This is extra time related to 30% of the memory instructions. This 60% will not take any extra. No stalls associated with the execution of ALU instruction. That's why we need to leave that one. We already consider that 60% within this one clock cycle, right? Now next, see here 50% of the branch instruction, because how many branch instructions are there? The rest are the branch instruction, that is 10%. 30 here it is gone, 60 here it is gone, the rest 10% are branch instruction. In that 50% of the branch instructions cause 2 cycles each. That means total 10% of the branch instruction, actually 10% of the branch instruction. Within this 50% of the instructions will take 2 clock cycle each, 2 cycles each, okay. That's all. This is the extra time into 1 by 2 gigahertz. So this extra time is nothing but 0.3 into 0.05 into 50. This is related to memory instructions, okay, and 0.1 into 0.5 into 2, that is related to branch instructions. Now if you calculate this one, how much you will get? 1 plus, this is 0.75 plus, this is 0.1 into 1 by 2 gigahertz. This equal to 1.85 0.925 nanosecond. Now speed up equal to the time taken to execute one instruction in non-pipeline, that is 2 nanosecond, divided by the time taken to execute one instruction in pipeline, that is 1.925 0.925, that equal to 2.16. This is the speed up. For a non-pipeline architecture, this is clock frequency, this 5 clock cycles, 5 into 0.4, that is 2 nanoseconds, it will take the time to execute one instruction in non-pipeline. In the pipeline, it is the clock frequency. 1 clock, it will take 0.5 nanoseconds. And because of 5 stages, we assume that each instruction takes 1. This is 1 plus some extra time, that is into 0.5 nanosecond for each clock. Right? Now this is 1. What is the extra time? 30%. 30% of the memory instruction. In that 5% will take 50 clock cycles. 10% of the branch instructions are there. Within this 10% of the branch instructions, 50% of the instructions will take 2 clock cycles, right? So if you calculate this one, this is 0.925 nanosecond it will take to execute one instruction in the pipeline architecture. Now the speed up equal to non-pipeline time divided by pipeline time, that is equal to 2 nanosecond divided by 0.925 nanosecond, that is speed up equal to 2.16. So in this way, we need to remember only this formula. We'll get 2 marks very easily. If still any doubts, please put your doubts in the comment box so that I can respond. Now let us discuss the next concept, that is throughput in the instruction pipelining. Okay, both concept and previous gate problems, let us see. Now what is throughput here? Throughput is nothing but number of instructions per second. If you take a processor, pipeline processor, right, how many number of instructions it is executing per second, that is the throughput. You just remember this one, throughput equal to number of instructions per second. Okay, for example, time taken to execute one instruction, let us say it will take in pipeline approximately 1 clock cycle. If 1 clock time is 1 nanosecond, okay, then time taken to execute one instruction equal to only 1 clock it will take, that's why 1 nanosecond. That means to execute one instruction it will take 1 nanoseconds. Now the question is, per second how many instructions? That is the throughput. Now throughput equal to number of instructions per second, that is 1 by 1 into 10 power minus 9. That means 1 by 1 nanosecond, right? That equal to 10 power 9 instructions it can able to execute per second. This is the throughput. If you consider a practical case, for example, right, there are 5 stages: IF, ID, EX, execution stage, memory calculation, and write back. Assume there are 5 stages are there, for example, in which IF takes 5 nanoseconds, ID takes 4 nanoseconds, execution stage will take 5 nanoseconds, memory stage will take 10 nanoseconds, and WB stage will take 4 nanoseconds. Okay. Now here the time taken to execute one instruction will take maximum of all these delays. Ideally, it will take 1 clock cycle. If 5 stages are there, each stage will execute in 1 clock cycle. In pipeline processor, to execute one instruction, it will take 1 clock cycle. But whereas here, the times are given, it will take maximum of the given time. That is called, here maximum is 10 nanosecond. That's why 10 nanosecond will execute one instruction. Now the throughput equal to number of instructions per second, right? That means 1 by 10 nanoseconds. If the time takes to execute one instruction in 10 nanoseconds, within a second how many instructions? That is the question. That is 1 by 10 nanosecond, that equal to 1 by 10 power minus 8, that is 10 power 8 instruction per second. Instructions per second. So this is a throughput. Let us do one problem as a practice. This question asked in 2016 for 1 mark. Okay. There are 4 stage pipeline is there. Each stage will take 800, 500, 400 and 300 picoseconds. Pico means 10 power minus 12. The first stage with delay 800 picoseconds is replaced by a functionally equivalent design involving 2 stages. See this first stage, whatever 800, that is again divided into two stages, both 600 and 350 picoseconds. Here non-pipeline is not given, only pipeline. Previously 4-stage pipeline is there. Now it is now it becomes a 5-stage, because this stage is divided into two parts, which takes 600 picoseconds and 350 picoseconds. Now the throughput increase of the pipeline. First 4 stage if you consider, okay, the time taken to execute one instruction, okay, equal to maximum of 800, 500, okay, 400 and 300. What is the maximum here? 800, right? So 800 picoseconds. Now what is the throughput here? One by 800 into 10 power minus 12 instructions per second. Okay. That means if it takes if the time takes to execute one instruction 800 picoseconds, then the throughput equal 1 by the number of instructions per second equal 1 by 800 into 10 power minus 12. Now coming to 5 stage, okay, now the first stage is extended. Now the time take to execute an instruction in the maximum of 600, 350, okay, because this 800 is divided to 600 and 350 is 500, 400 and 300 picoseconds. This is equal to, what is the maximum here? This is 600. So 600 picoseconds it will take to execute one instruction. Now what is the throughput here? Okay, throughput equal to 1 by 600 into 10 power minus 12, okay, instructions per second. That means here if the time takes to execute one instruction is 600 picoseconds, then per 1 second it will execute 1 by 600 into 10 power minus 12 instructions. Now let us assume the throughput equal to T1 here, and here throughput equal to T2. Now the percentage increase, how we can tell? This 4-stage pipeline, if you consider the maximum for this picosecond, that is 800. That means throughput equal to, let us say T1 here, 1 by 800 into 10 power minus 12. That means 1 by 800 into 10 power 12, okay, instructions per second. If you observe 5-stage pipeline, because this 800 is extended to 2 stages, 600, 350, that means here in this the maximum equal to 600. So now throughput equal to 1 by 600 into 10 power minus 12, that is 1 by 600 into 10 power 12 instructions per second. These are the throughputs, but he asked about the throughput increase from the previous 4-stage pipeline to 5-stage pipeline. Now the formula is, right, T2 minus T1 by T2 into 100. That means 1 by 600 into 10 power 12 minus 1 by 800 into 10 power 12 divided by 1 by 600 into 10 power 12. That is 33.33%. So in this video lecture, we have covered two topics, that is the speed up and throughput. And we have solved the previous gate problems as a practice. Thank you, friends. If any doubts are there still, okay, you can put your questions in the comment box, right, so that I can respond to you.